Hey yo, what's going on? Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. If you've joined me before, welcome. If this is your first time checking me out, I appreciate you tapping into the content here. My name is Derek, for those who don't know, covering everything wholesaling real estate on the channel here, specifically virtually wholesaling real estate, is that's what I'm doing. I currently live in California and I source opportunity out in the Houston, Texas market. So if you are out in Houston, either physically or virtually doing anything real estate related, feel free to reach out. I'd love to connect with you, see how we may be able to benefit one another moving forward. The best way to get a hold of me is going to be one of two ways: Instagram or my Discord group. Both of those links are down in the description for you to check out. The best way to get a hold of me is going to be Discord, since I have my notifications on my phone, so I'll know when you tag me or say something to me. Whereas with Instagram, I don't have my notifications on. What's going on, Jared? So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say up front. I'm trying to shorten these intros a little bit so that you can get straight into the content. But like I said, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'd appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button before you left. Trying to get 250 subscribers by the end of March. That's my goal. Um, yeah, check out the links in the description. Got my Instagram, the Discord group, building a little bit of a community in there so that we can stay connected while I'm offline. Got some people in there. What I really wanted to do, and really what I really plan to kind of tailor it towards, is just holding each other accountable and celebrating the small wins that everybody seems to be getting, but doesn't necessarily. This is like, in my opinion, at least, this is how I feel. Like, I'll have little small wins, but I won't really like celebrate them to the degree that they should be celebrated, I think. And by having like a little bit of a group to bring these wins to, I think that it'll help me stay motivated, and I imagine that it would help others stay motivated as well. So check that out if you'd like. And a few other links in the description are affiliate links to batch leads and batch skip tracing. I use both. Um, Batch leads, I'm using it now to comp my properties and to stack my lists. And then batch skip tracing is where I get my data. Tried some other skip tracing platforms, um, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I've tried hundreds of skip tracing platforms and batch is the best by far. I've tried a few, but I do like batch compared to the others. So it is what I use. If anybody were to come and ask me what I use or what I recommend, I would recommend batch. So just know that they are affiliate links, so I will get some type of a commission kickback if you do decide to support me in the channel. But the links are in the description if you want to go check those out. So today, and right now, rather, what I'm going to do is go ahead and send um, this deal off to the buyers. For those who don't know, got a deal that I'm partnering with Jared and his wife Raina. Both of them supporters, long supporters of the channel here. Sorry, I gotta wipe my computer down a little bit. It's just kind of even hard for me to look at it, so dirty and dusty. So okay, one second. But yeah, so we got that one under contract of I'd say like a couple weeks ago, maybe at this point. And the tenant was giving us trouble, or rather giving Raina trouble, because Raina is the one who's communicating with both the seller and the tenant. This is a Spanish speaking lead that I had referred over to them that Raina ended up getting under contract. Shout out to Raina for that. And the tenant was giving her a hard time with getting into the property in order to take pictures so that we could then create like a little bit of a property profile to send off to buyers to see where they would be at in terms of price. She kind of was, giving her a hard time, but luckily she was able to get in there with Jared yesterday. They took some pictures, only to find out that the woman is a complete hoarder. Um, like TV show status hoarder. Not like, oh, she has a lot of stuff, but I'm talking um, to the ceiling. I mean, I wish that Jared Arena could really express to you, because I'm sure I don't even really know the full extent of it. They were saying that it uh, smelled like, I can only imagine what it smelled like in there, but yeah, it's bad. I've personally never seen something like that, or at least something that, like I said, you see this type of stuff on TV. Yo, it's good, Cameron. Uh, so I mean, I've seen it on TV. I've never personally seen it. Uh, I would imagine that Jared and Rand have never seen anything like that in person either. But I guess it's a first for everything, especially in the game of real estate. So it's way worse condition than what the seller had initially communicated. I think the only thing that the seller was telling Raina was that needed to be replaced were the burglar bars on the windows. I think there's like one window in front and there's burglar bars on them. If you know what I'm talking about, just bars on the outside exterior of the windows. And she was saying those are the only things that needed to be replaced. And then they got in there yesterday, and there's, I mean, yeah, the stuff's. I can explain it to you just like I am, but it's not doing it any justice. And like I said, like I'm explaining it to you, but I'm still getting it secondhand from the pictures that I'm seeing. So I know that I still don't even really can't grasp the full extent of how bad it was. But by the pictures, the way it looks, I mean, no room to hardly walk throughout the house. Um, Makes sense now why the tenant was being so standoffish, probably because she's embarrassed as all hell. Um, but yeah, so anyways, so I'm gonna kind of transition. I tossed this out to a few of my buyers. I actually spoke with one of them this morning. It was the gentleman who I signed my first deal to. It's pretty close to where the area is that he did his flip. I'm gonna show you guys too. That I don't want to take too much time, but I don't know if I shared this with you guys. Both of the deals that I did that I ended up assigning to a cash buyer, both of them hit the market recently after they were all fully fixed up, and both of them I think sold. They were pending under contract last time I checked, like a week or two ago. But I just wanted to show you guys. It's pretty cool to see the transformation. So this was the house. This was my first deal. It had dog poop all over the floor, mold in the ceiling. This was the kitchen, and now this is what it looks like. Phew, crazy, whole new house. Literally a whole new house. That's what he was saying. That one, he'll probably make like 40, 50,000. The area, it took like 6 months for him to turn this property around, but the appreciation in the area went crazy while he was working. So I had ARV calculated at like 170 on the high end when I was running the numbers on this deal 6 months ago, and he was under contract for 199. So he'll probably make like 50,000, to be honest, depending on how much he spent. It looks like it was pretty custom though, what he was doing here with like that wall. But anyways, this is my second deal. There's the kitchen, the bathroom. This one wasn't bad at all. Probably didn't have to do as much as he did, but there's that. And then there it is now. So again, pretty cool to know that like this is actually what's happening after I get paid on it on the assignment. Um, and it has me eager to be involved in the process even more so after the fact. Like maybe not fix and flipping, but um, I don't know, just having some type of skin in the game. Like I don't think I have any aspirations to like manage flip projects, but I am definitely willing to invest in somebody who is. I know a couple buddies out here who raise private money, so that's something that I'm considering. So, anyways, right now I'm transitioning into try to get this one sold. Like I said, I sent it off to my buyers, both of those people, as well as like two other gentlemen that I've spoken with on the phone in recent weeks. Sent those off to them via email. I haven't gotten any feedback from them, so I'm just gonna go ahead. I was trying to give them like yesterday afternoon, early this morning. Um, but I haven't gotten any feedback from them. So I'm just going to go ahead and blast it off. What I'm going to do before I do that, though, is kind of scan some Facebook groups. And I'm going to do that in order to just try to get my list a little bit bigger. I try to add to it like a little bit before I just send off another deal, right? Because if I scan my thought process, if I scan Facebook groups, there may be new people. Well, obviously, there's always going to be new people, new investors in the market. So I want to have those people added to my list as well. So I'll probably do that for like another 20, 30 minutes and then just build out my list to be as big as possible. My list right now is sitting right at like a little over 1,032. Um, so what I like to do is, I know you can't see what I'm doing, so I'm just going to kind of narrate what I'm doing. I go into all of my Facebook groups kind of individually, and I'm going to write these down on my notepad so that I don't end up like going through the same group twice. So I'm on Facebook. I'm going to go to groups. That's going to give me my feed on the left. And I want to see groups you've joined. There we go. So I'm just going to scroll down and I'm going to start trying to pick like market specific real estate groups because I'm in like some that are just like nationwide, um, stuff like that. So I don't necessarily want to market to those quite yet, but rather go to the market specific Houston, which is mine, right? So here's one: Texas Real Estate Investor and Wholesalers Group, Dallas, Austin, Houston. Has 22,000 members in it. So what I'm going to do is come into here. I'm going to click the little magnifying glass to search this group. And then what I do is I put the zip code in which the subject property is in. And then you can filter it on the left by, um, no, I'm not even going to filter it. So then what I do is I look for properties that seem to be similar to the one that I have, right? At least single family. So like I'm looking at this first one, it's like a triplex, right? Or quadplex. So whoever showed interest in that one, what I'm doing is I'm looking for comments of people who are raising their hand saying, yes, like commenting on somebody else's post saying, yes, I'm interested in this property. I want to buy it, right? And the idea is if they're interested in somebody else's property property is similar to the one that I'm trying to dispo, then they may be interested in mine as well. So the first one, not really apples to apples. So again, anybody who says, "Yeah, I'm interested in this property," it's like a quadplex. It's just not the same type of investing, right? We're probably looking for a fix and flipper because our property is in fairly rough condition, or somebody who's looking to just like wholesale it or something. So again, kind of just scanning the area for the zip code. Here we go. Asking in the zip code must be able to show proof of funds. This was about a year ago that this person posted it, but um, please send information to this person. Then what I'm going to do is not only am I going to take their email and just go ahead and add it to my list. Um, and I know people probably feel some type of way about that. Maybe they won't after I finish my thought, but I know some people feel some type of way about just going and scanning and then pulling their emails and just adding it to your list and then sending it off without ever having a conversation with that person. I did that in the beginning. That's how I got my list to be so long, 1,000 plus. I have not had a conversation with every single one of these people, but every single one of these people have shown interest and provided their email onto a public forum expressing interest in buying properties in my market. So if you ask me, there's nothing unethical about that. But what I am going to do is anybody that I see today that is specifically showing interest in this zip code, I am going to reach out to them specifically and kind of form a pre-templated thing so that I can just copy and paste it to everybody and just switch out their name. So this, hey, I'm going to say, saw you I saw that you commented on a post um in a group in a Houston uh real estate group showing interest in a property in the zip code. Have a property um under contract now. I have a property in that zip code that is under contract now, and I'm looking to assign my interest in it to an buyer. I have a property under contract in that zip code, and I'm looking to assign my interest in it to an end buyer. And I saw you commented on an older post. I'm just taking a couple seconds because this is going to be the one that I sent to everybody. Saw you commented on an older post in a Houston real estate group showing interest in a property in the 770 zip code. I have a property under contract in that zip code now, and I'm looking to assign my interest in it to an end buyer. If you have any interest, I'd love to send it your way. Have any interest, let me know, and how to send it your way. Gonna go ahead and copy this um, onto quick Google Doc so I can have just save the template for future reference. Yo, let's get it. Anyway, you can find the one that bought the house across the street from Maria. Yeah, that's for sure going to be another play that I'm taking with this one. What's going on, Stefan? So, yeah, what I pretty much what my disposition efforts typically are, and what I plan to do here on this one as well is um, email blast to all my buyers list. Um, Facebook groups. I'm no longer ever posting it to Facebook Marketplace. I really don't think that there's much benefit in doing it anyways. But now that I ran into that situation with my last one, I'm definitely never going to do that again, and I'm not going to ever post it to Craigslist again either. There's really no. I truly feel like if there's somebody who's making something happen in terms of a cash buyer, that they're not scanning Craigslist, or at least that's not the type of buyer that I want. I hope that doesn't sound bad, but um, like I hope that doesn't sound bad, but I guess they're not scanning Facebook either. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe I will post it to Craigslist. These people seem older. They don't seem like the people who are searching Craigslist. Um, in the past, what I've gathered is I do get contacted off of disposition efforts on Craigslist, but like 99% of them are other wholesalers that are just looking to daisy chain your deal. And it really is a waste of time when they call in and try to act like a cash buyer. And it's very clear to me that they're not, but I don't want to disrespect them and just like hang the phone up. So like I have to like chat with them, and I'll ask them eventually like, hey, do you have the funds to close this, or are you just looking to find a buyer? And if they're honest and ethical, they will tell me, oh yeah, we're just gonna try to find another buyer. But you'll find that, and I found that with my last deal too. It's like people are just looking to JV with you, but they're not willing to come outright and ask or say that's what their intentions are. One guy on my last one guy on my last deal that fell through was like, he called me right away because I'm gonna include that. Like, I don't include the house address on all these marketing pieces, because it is a fear thing, but also because I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it. Like, I'm not pre-vetting these buyers. I'm simply just like scraping Facebook groups. So more often than not, they're not legit buyers. It's kind of like cold calling. Like, a lot of them are not going to be legit, and there's going to be a few in there that are legit, actually looking for deals, but it's going to be on me to find them. So by putting the house address out there, it just kind of invites us to get cut out of the deal, which I'm not trying to, have happen. So I don't put the house address. So I say, for the complete address and more information, or if you'd like to make an offer, either call or text me. And then when they call me, a lot of people will just be like, "Hey, what's the address?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, so like, I'm trying to vet them a little bit. Like, are you looking to buy this one yourself?" And that's what I did with the last guy. I said to the last guy, if you send through proof of funds and your email, or text me your email, I'll text you with my email with what I'm asking for, which is proof of funds. And then once I get that, I can go ahead and send you the address. Never provides me the proof of funds. He follows up, "Hey, what was the address again?" I said, "Yeah, I just wanted to be sure. I saw your email, and it was New Western." I was like, "I see that you're with New Western. Or is it New Western? I think it's New Western. Um, were you looking to buy this one yourself, or were you just simply looking to find another buyer?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'm not buying it myself. Maybe sometime soon, but I'm just gonna find another buyer." I was like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna look to try to find a buyer myself on this one. I appreciate your help, but what I didn't appreciate was the fact that he never disclosed the fact that he was just trying to daisy chain it, right? He was trying to trick me up into thinking that he was the actual buyer so that I can assign it to him so that he can then assign it to somebody else, which is really where the unethical practice that everybody's talking about. That's like one of the areas where it's taking place, right? Like, you got to disclose that. Um, so my first buyer, he just asked when. I don't know if you're still on here, Jared. I'm gonna text you though. He's asking when he can get into the property to take a look. Um, so I let him know that we're gonna try to. Well, we're in the works trying to get something scheduled for this upcoming weekend. Um, and then I also kind of just asked him of his opinion on what he saw. So that's anyways, let me finish my thought here. Email blast, Facebook group, Craigslist, and then realtors uh, who repped investors on the comps. There's a few comps in the area that went as is that I was really using for this one. Um, so the fact that they were all going as is leads me to believe that at least a few of them were purchased by investors um, to do what they were going to do to it, fix it up, flip it, whatever. So getting in contact with those realtors not only would be beneficial for this deal, but probably deals in the future as well, because they are, again, representing investors who are buying properties, in as is condition. So that's definitely going to be one of the methods, Jared. Yes, still on. Yeah. So um, nothing too urgent, but I think that's next step now. Now that next step is to find buyers and get people lined up. But in the event that we get a couple people on the hook, um, want to be able to say like, yeah, on Saturday at this time you can walk the property. But don't I wouldn't jump to it right now because he's just kind of asking. Um, for sure, see if you find any realtors in the area. Yeah, for sure. He's kind of just asking generally. I'll know whether or not he's seriously interested if he responds to this text. I asked like what his thoughts were, but I'll let you know if I have like three, four, or five people all wanting to walk the property. Then I think it may be worth reaching back out to Irma a little sooner rather than later to try to get something scheduled for this weekend for a cash buyer walkthrough. So I'm gonna go head over back to um, Facebook, and now I'm gonna try to catch a little bit of a rhythm here. Again, what I'm doing is reaching out to people who have expressed interest in properties in zip code that our property's in, and I'm just going ahead and adding their email to the list. Again, each his own. I'm not telling you to do it this way. I'm just telling you this is how I do it. In the beginning, again, to reiterate, I wouldn't have even reached out to them. Uh, but now that I actually have, something to offer them, a contract to assign, then it's, in my opinion, worth like trying to create a little bit of a conversation. Send me over details, please, to this email. She got back right away. Perfect. Will do. I'll be sending the email out shortly. Say you buy a lot. You buy a lot of properties in the area. Sent it off to Don, adding him to the buyers list. And what I've heard is people, actually, Lauren Hardy specifically, I remember the video. She said that at one point she hired a VA to do this like on a daily basis. Just come into Facebook and scrape the posts like I'm doing and just making conversation with these people like I am. Very simply, hey, I got a contract. Are you interested? And then that way you're just adding like 20 to 50 buyers every day at low cost because you're outsourcing it to a VA. That's something that I foresee myself doing once I have the budget to do that. You lock something up, what you trying to move it for? Jay Will. Yeah, me, Jared, and his wife Raina are partnering on this deal. I want to give all the credit to Raina because it's a Spanish speaking lead that I kicked over to her. She, with the help of Jared as well, got it under contract with the seller and have been also communicating with the tenant because they're Spanish speaking as well. Got it locked up at 85. They were able to get in there yesterday for a walkthrough finally after, trying to overcome that hurdle because the tenant was being a little uncooperative. And she's a hoarder, junk stacked to the ceiling in every room. So it's going to take a lot more than what we initially anticipated. I just don't know if we do, in fact, need a price reduction. So what I'm doing is going to blast it out to buyers. We have it at 85. I was thinking that it's going to move for anywhere between 105 to 125, depending on the condition. Now, kind of anything I think truly beyond 110, 115 is kind of out of the question because of the price that it's going to take just to trash the place out. Um, so now, I'm hoping for something like 110, 105. Um, I'm going to send it out at either 110 or 115 to see if somebody tries to come in and maybe, negotiate to be able to get them somewhere over 100. That'd be cool. But if not, if people are like, oh, I need this I truly do think that people are going to probably need it right around where it's contracted at 85, 90. I'm staying optimistic about somebody seeing the potential in it and looking at the comps that I've provided that also sold as is. The problem is that nobody knows in this situation what the true condition of the place is until you get all the junk out. Only at that point are you going to realize, like, oh, well, I didn't know that this was underneath here. I didn't know that there were dead animals or mold, or there's so many things that can be uncovered once you get all that junk out. So I'm hoping that somebody sees the potential in it and is willing to kind of operate off of that. So again, to answer your question, 85 is what it's locked up at. I'm hoping that we're able to get it for something north of 100, and we're gonna split that. My girl said she was telling Irma about the walkthrough next weekend, and Irma kept saying in 2 weeks or whatever, and my girl just kept saying next week, but girl kept saying 2 weeks. Yeah, the tenant's being difficult, and the problem is that we're trying to communicate to everybody that we need to do our due diligence. We need to do our, we have to have people come and inspect the property. And the seller was adamant about serving her tenant a 30-day notice before we even walk the property. And I don't really feel bad about it because we have over communicated, saying, hey, look, like, I don't want you to serve your tenant a 30-day notice for us to get in there, realize that the place has mold everywhere and that it's not something that we're interested in, and then us backing out of the deal because of that inspection walkthrough, or whatever you want to call it, an inspection. And then now you're out, not only for out a buyer for the property, but you're also out a tenant because you served them a notice. And we've done our responsibility of taking responsibility in that regard, and over communicated to her, look, we don't want you to kick your tenant out until we are for sure going to buy this place. And she's like, no, if it's not going to be you, it's going to be somebody else. I'm going to sell the property and I just want her out. So like, all right, we've done our part to communicate that to you, if that's what you want, how you want to handle it. But what it has done is it's caused a little friction between now Reina, which is like the buyer, and the tenant, because now the tenant has the notice and is like, oh, you're buying the place, you're kicking me out. So it's a little bit difficult to overcome. And she started talking about, speaking to an attorney, and she had some other gentleman call and basically threaten Reina, like, you're not walking the property until the 30 days are up. And again, we're trying to just say, look, w- don't don't be under the assumption that we're even going to buy the place, and that at that 30 days you got to be out, because for all we know, we just need to go in there and check it out. So uh the tenant's being a little difficult. Irma is her name. Jared had posted that there. That's who he's referring to. So she's trying to kick the can down the road. 2 weeks is when you can walk the property, because she needs to take out at least most of the stuff. She's not moving any of that stuff, man. Like, we don't need the property empty to walk it, not at all. And that's, if the buyers aren't going to trip, they're gonna walk the property just like you walk the property, as long as you can, like, shuffle your feet. That's all that matters. um because again, the pictures pretty much do it justice. Like, there's nothing that you're gonna be able to see in person that you can't see in the pictures, because the pictures are just a bunch of junk. So anyways, uh that's what's going on. Back to this. Again, just adding a few buyers to my list before I end up just blasting it. Want some new, fresh eyes on this one. Mostly just the people who have seen all my past emails that I've sent off. Good job, brother, says Jay. Thanks, Jay. Say good job to Jared and Raina as well. Everybody, do me a favor, hit that like button for Jared and Raina for really facilitating this one. I owe everything to them, and now all I can do is try to do my part to find a buyer at the highest price possible, so that we can reap the benefits of this one. Duplexes. Uh, Fiveplex. Okay, that's end of results with this group. I'm taking note of which groups I'm going through for one to make sure that I don't go through the same group and do this. But two, to keep a list of where I want to post the deal when it comes time to post it on Facebook. All right. On to the next group. Texas real estate. And you gotta be careful. Some of these are just like this one I'm probably not gonna like I would probably not post to. It is more so on the retail side. Not too many. Well, there are. I'll check it out. But some of these are like specifically geared toward retail and not necessarily investment opportunities. So again, what I'm doing is just searching the zip code of this group, um, and looking for like something similar. So here's like a post: duplexes, a vacant lot. So neither one of those people will probably be interested in this single family flip because they're either going to be a landlord who's looking for duplexes um, or a new construction builder who's looking for lots. So it's not really the same type of buyer. Nothing really in that group, nothing crazy there. So I'm going to move on to the next. See this Investor Underground. I feel like this is Texas. Okay, so it's Austin. This is one that I joined recently in when I tried to market my last deal. So let me see. Search the zip code if there's anything in here. No. So this is more Austin, not really Houston. Huh. Flip, Texas. Only a few thousand in here, but maybe it's exclusive. I've seen a lot of these. You know, you'll see too that people post the same deals in all these groups. So here's that same fiveplex. Here are some of the market properties I have coming up. Duplex, new Western acquisitions is what I was referring to. Being rented out, first come, first serve. Let's see what the comments say because there's a lot of okay. Nothing crazy. You know, you'll love to hit one of those posts where you get like 80 comments on it. Nothing like that yet. Have you tried going to live auctions for your county? No, I haven't, Ernest. I'm doing it virtually. I don't know if they have an ability to do that, join virtually, but I have not. No. There we go. Texas RIA. Just have 10,000 people in here. All right, here we go. So here's one posted. No comments really. Same duplex. Yeah, so I guess this zip is just not booming as I'd like it to be. So I may just stop searching for this specific zip code and then just go to recent what am I trying to say? Just recent posts looking for cash buyers and then start reaching out to them specifically because yeah, a lot of these I'll do like a couple more groups where I'm searching for the specific zip code, but um, doesn't look like there's a crazy amount of activity on Facebook for that zip code. Uh, yeah, a lot. 5+ who's looking for multifamily 5+ in the zip code. It seems like this is an area for multifamily. I've seen a lot of stuff multifamily. Uh, and new builds. Looking for land in East End. Vacant hot deal. So let's see the comments on this one. I'll send them a quick text. See if he replies to that. Adding him to the list. I want to make sure that I'm not adding the same people as well. So I'll typically, yeah, so I've two of those people I've already had on my list. I'm adding 2 right now, though. Yo, Derek, what's good? What's going on, Ider? Thanks for hopping in here. Appreciate you. Four units, multifamily, looking for investors in this zip code, ARV. Okay, so this is single family and buyers only. This was posted about 11 months ago. Got a good amount of comments, being 11. This woman says, I know someone. I've actually talked to this woman before. I'm gonna say, hey, Lorna. I just want to make sure that I have her email already on my buyers list. I do. I'm going to reach out saying, hey, Lorna, I have another property that I'm looking to assign in this zip code. Not sure if you have any clients interested in the area, but I'll be sending this off to my list in a few minutes here. So just wanted to give you a heads up. No, gentlemen. So this is where it starts to get a little fun because I can really run the numbers up. Like I said, when you get a post that's like a bunch of people in a row, a bunch of comments, pretty gratifying because then I can just reach out to every single one of them. Hey Edward, I saw you commented on an older post in the Houston real estate group showing interest in a property in the 770 zip code. I have a property on a contract in that zip code now, and I'm looking to assign my interest in it to an end buyer. If you have any interest, let me know. I'd love to send it your way. Go ahead and see if I have him on my list. I know this probably isn't the most interesting live stream, but it's part of the game. Like this guy, so he just messaged me back saying send address and price. Um, I'll get back to him in a minute. I'm just gonna finish with reaching out to all these people. So this person said rehab question mark, wanting to know what the rehab is. He's actually, I see, a mutual friend of my first buyer who I was just talking to. I might have even talked to the gentleman. Yeah, I have talked to him before. I'll run back and let you know that the property has been accounted for. If you like dropping email, be sure to send you. Yeah. Um, he doesn't look like he was the best communicator the last time we were talking, so I'm just going to send him the template. He didn't provide his email on this post either. All right, got my first no. Got my first no from the buyer on my second property. He said he was going to pass. He says, I'll pass on this one, but thanks for sending. I would ask, but he's fairly short, and that's kind of how he likes to communicate. So I don't like bothering him, to be quite honest. Not like it's a bother, but I may not get a response for like another 6 to 8 hours. He seems like a busy guy. Um, what an email. All right. I don't need this open. That's the end of that post there. Okay, so like this guy, what I like to do is because I gotta provide the address to people, right, for them to accurately run their comps. What I like to do is, especially if I'm linking up with them on social media, is just go to their page and make a safe assumption to determine whether or not I feel that they're going to act with integrity and ethical, you know, just ethically and with integrity, right? And that may be incorrect of me, but that's how I'm doing it at this point in time. Because I don't have really the luxury of saying I'm not going to give my the address to anybody. It's like, I have to run that risk of sending the address out and possibly running into a situation, right? Because if I don't, I'm not going to get the thing sold, not going to get it assigned. So what I do is I kind of just judge a book by its cover, look on their page, determine whether or not there's somebody who's active in the business and somebody who seems like they will act with integrity. So this guy clearly active in the business. Um, he may even be an agent because he 7 p.m. tonight I'm giving a free real estate investing seminar. We will be streaming live on Facebook. Yeah, this guy's a player. Um, serve our clients with a real estate agent. We make buying and selling homes easy and stress free. Look forward to meeting you and working with you. Yeah, so he's a broker. He owns his own brokerage. So, in my opinion, it's probably somebody that's going to act with integrity. So, I'm going to go ahead, give him the address, and let him know what we're asking. I'm gonna ask 110 on this just to see what people are coming in at. So send him the address. Um, Asking price, and I said that I have a marketing piece that I can send you as well that has a link with additional details, pictures. See what he says. So this other gentleman got back to me right now saying, "Hey, send me the address." Gonna do the same thing. Hop over to his Facebook, kind of judge a book by its cover, determine whether or not um, this gentleman kind of passes my vibe check. So his last name is Canto. His Facebook banner across the top is Canto Home Investors LLC, construction you can count on. So to me, it seems clear that he is, um, in the game. It looks like he's a Spanish speaker, or at least a lot of the stuff is Spanish on his page. Um, he's friends with, and he's posting a lot of content. Step one, foundation, day number one. So it's clear to me that he is actually flipping and not wholesaling. He's posting content of him on the job site doing the work. So again, somebody who I'm comfortable with sending the address to. Let's do the same thing. Send them the address. Uh, I can send you over a marketing piece that has additional details and pictures as well. If you, all right, this other woman got back to me. Um, she got back to me saying that she's an agent in the area. She has a client. Um, I asked if she had any clients because that's what her comments to the post was that I saw. And she says, I have a client looking in this area. So I reached out and said, hey, I don't know if you have, I saw your post or your comment. I don't know if you have any clients in the area. I have your email already. Just wanted to give you a heads up. The email is going to be going out shortly. And she says, I do have clients. Thanks. I said, all right, perfect. Check your email. It's going to be coming from my email, which is this. And I should be sending that out shortly. All right. Anyone looking for property in these zip codes? And there's a lot of zip codes. So what I'm going to do, all right, here, perfect. Facebook already knows what I want. So only there's 35 comments, but only one has a matching comment, which has my zip code in her comment. And she says, I'm looking for property in the zip code that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and add them as a friend and message her. Oh, it's two of them. Say, hey there. Saw you commented on the post, yada yada yada. Oops. So like right here, I okay, there's their email. I could just take all these people's emails depending on where I'm actually going to double check where these other zip codes are in relation to our zip code. If it's close enough, these are a bunch of people that I'd like to have conversations with. So just pulling it up on Google Maps and typing in the other zip codes for directions to see like how far away they are. So this one's very far away. This one is not so far away. This one is on the other end of downtown, but again, not too far away. As long as these last few aren't crazy far. That one's kind of crazy far, but I'm gonna hold off on now from just grabbing those. Just locked up this deal and the zip code, not a full rehab, where the cash buyer is at. This is 2 years ago, but all right, this guy actually reached out to me that I never got back to him um, on one of the older deals that I had posted to a group, I'd imagine. So I'm gonna double check that I have him in my list, which I do. And I just went ahead and DM'd him, seeing if he had any interest in this one. The same thing here. All these people are commenting on a post of a zip code specific post. So, but it is older. Once I get this up to like 1050, like 10 more emails, I'm gonna go ahead and just blast it off. Oh, and the gentleman who posted this, I see, is pretty active wholesaler in the area. Okay, I've talked with this gentleman. He's very specific. I've had a full conversation with this guy. Uh, Not for me. I have much better deals I can invest in. It may not work for you. Need do run comms. Have to change everything. Plus, need to give lead. Yeah, this guy was annoying. And this is a good example too of like, I'm gonna read you guys this conversation and just know that I still made 8,000 on this deal. He goes, "Not for me. I have much better deals I can invest in." I said, "Got it. Would there be a number that made sense for you? It may not work for you. Need to run comps. 1965, which was the age of the property, have to change everything. Okay, let me know what you can offer and I'll see if I can make it work. Plus, need to give lead declaration when I sell as it's made before 1978, probably around 50K, which is his offer price. I ended up assigning it at 83. I generally buy brick houses. These are old, and I would be opening up can of worms, plumbing, electrical. So you completely understand. I've started buying houses only built after 2000. Less headache, cosmetic rehab. I said, "Did you check out the pictures? Everything's in pretty good shape. The owner was an electrician, so he kept everything up to speed." And then I read his 2000 plus. I said, "Oh, okay." I spent 7 months in fixing a house in Magnolia. I said, "Well, are there any particular areas or price points that you're looking for?" Irrespective of how good it's in shape, I am a realtor. I need to give lead declaration. I generally buy 100 to 150, ARV 200 to 250. And then he gave me the cities that he was looking for, which is Montgomery County, north of Houston. I'm also looking for houses with pools and no HOA. I will buy anywhere where numbers make sense. Uh, so I'm not going to waste my time with this guy. He knows what he wants, which is good. But in this climate, in this market, I think he needs to lower his expectations a little bit. But I don't know. He's a realtor, so he probably has income coming in on the retail side of things. This is a good post here. Some emails. Back. He says, "Please send it. I'd like to take a look at it." Perfect. I saw you commented an email of this. That's still the best email to send opportunities to. All right, this girl who I'm reaching out to actually reached out to me at one point saying, "I saw your post. I work with my husband. Above is his website. For you client who needs, we can help them and you can get a referral fee from us and we can get it on paper. Let me know." I don't know what she's referring to. I think possibly That has changed. New email is this. Glad I asked. Perfect. Glad I asked. I'll be sending this out shortly. Uh, Let me see if I have that email. I don't. Perfect. I saw your post. I work with my husband. Above this is website for your client needs. We can help them, and you can get it. I think this is. She was looking to represent one of my older deals where it was owner occupied, and I was looking to help somebody relocate. Um, so I'm just gonna kind of disregard that and send her the new post, new comments. This person texted back, said, "Please do send it to me. Here's my email. Perfect. Send this out shortly." This gentleman's a realtor. Have him add her. This gentleman gave me the thumbs up. All right, couple more on this comment here. Reach out to him. Again, what I'm doing is just simply scanning my Facebook groups, seeing if there's any posts that were posts to these groups that contained the same zip code as the subject property that we're looking to assign, and looking for anybody who commented on that post expressing interest in possibly buying a property in that zip code. The idea being that if they were at one point interested in buying a property in this zip code, that they're still probably interested in buying a property in this zip code. So I'm reaching out to them specifically through Facebook DMs saying, "Hey, first name, I saw you commented on an older post in a Houston real estate group showing interest in a property in this zip code. I have a property under contract in this zip code now, and I'm looking to assign my interest in it to an end buyer. If you have any interest, let me know. I'd love to send it your way." Um, really kind of just like like vetting them to determine if they are still interested. But regardless, I am taking their email and adding it to the list. And then I know it's kind of common practice, or it should be in like email marketing. I don't know if you want to really compare it like apples to apples as like email marketing, digital marketing, whatever. But I know it's common practice when you are doing email marketing at scale to then kind of like what's the word, like kind of ebb and flow, like add a bunch of people, have a bunch of people added to your email list, whether they sign up through some means, you have a conversation with them, you collect their email, whatever the case may be. And then every so often, depending on how often you're sending emails out, at what scale you're doing this, to go in and run through your analytics of your emails, because there's going to be not a large, but there's going to be a portion of people who never open your email. There's going to be a portion of people where the emails bounce and the deliverability is significantly affected because of these emails. And what you want to do every so often is go in there and remove those people, because the more people that you have like that in your email list and you're constantly emailing it to bad emails, you're constantly getting your emails bounced, you're constantly emailing people who aren't even opening your email because probably it's going to the spam folder. The more people that you have like that on your email list, the higher the likelihood that your message gets put in other people's spam folders. So it's kind of my intent in this is just like, scrape Facebook groups, pull emails, and then at one point I'll reassess and say, hey, look, like these 300 people have never opened one of my emails. Let me just go ahead and delete them from my master email list, because they're clearly not serious buyers, right? So my email list is like 1,000 plus, but I know probably only a small handful of those are actual serious buyers. Um, and I know that, right? I'm not fooling myself into thinking that I have an email list of 1,000 plus buyers that are ready to go on any moment's notice. I know that a larger majority of them are probably other wholesalers, other, kind of looky loos, people who are leaving comments on posts saying that they're interested in properties, but really they maybe have never done a deal, or maybe are just getting into the fix and flip process, whatever you want to say. I know I'm being honest with myself, and I know that a large majority of them are not serious buyers, but that a couple of them in there are definitely legit. Um, I found my first buyer for my first deal on Facebook just by sliding in his DMs, by doing exactly what I'm doing right now. All right. Oh, golden. Is this one I was just on? No. Any buyers in this zip code, drop your email. 34 comments. Um, okay, a lot of them are just like back and forth. He says, I know some buyers for that area. What do you have? I'm not going to waste my time. This guy I just talked to. Yes, what do you have? He sent it in a different email than the one that he gave me. It's 3 emails. All right, here's this guy. Seems like somebody who I want to speak with. It's a message. Reach out. Hey Ryan. Uh, and you can kind of get tipped off too by what their email is. So like this guy has the word buys in his email, core buys. So like, to me, indicative of him buying real estate if he's leaving messages or comments on people showing interest in buying real estate. So um, it's like one of those things where it's not the end all be all, but I do know that it costs money to buy a domain like that. So if somebody is willing to spend money on a monthly basis to pay for a domain, so that their email can be tailored like that, I know that they probably are more legit than others, or at least want to cross as legit. Another woman. Check if I didn't already have that gentleman. Doesn't look like I did. He just emailed me back as well. Another gentleman. throw his email up here. And then after this, I'm hoping to have at least 150. Go ahead and email it off. And then I will continue doing this as the days go by, but um, won't necessarily make it like a huge priority. I just wanted to add at least some people to the list before sending it off. So like I've already had, 3, 4 conversations of people who are expecting the email now. This is a list builder technique. Sure is. Three more people here. Boom. I mean, yeah, you can do this for a long time. That's also why I'm kind of just going to call it quits so that I can actually start marketing it. But like I said, I'm going to do this over the course of, throughout the week. All right, let's see what this guy said. Who was it? Christian said, how much? 10. I swear somebody else just. Oh, here we go. Sure, would like to take a look. All right. Perfect. Cool. sending it out shortly. Nestor says, "Great, I like the property." Perfect. Um, Perfect. I will keep you in the loop on when we can get you in there to walk it. And that's another thing that I've taken away from this, that I've taken away from past deals as well. Setting the expectations really helps, and just getting like tentative agreements in place really helps to be able to facilitate everything. Like had we already had a day and time scheduled, even if it was like 10 days out in the future, that it's something else that I can communicate to these potential buyers and say, like he's gotten back to me. He's like, yeah, great. I like the property. When can I walk it? We have a time for you to walk it on this day at this time. And I can run them down, with the details of that. But now it's kind of like I got to put it up in the air. So now what I like to do as well is keep a list, and just title it like the address. Um, Buyer inquiries. Um, Shown interest, wants to walk property, made offer. I'll just keep it to those three columns and just kind of section people off based on what they're responding. If somebody's like, yeah, I like the property, then I'll put them into like the shown interest. If they say, yeah, like I really like it, when can I walk it? Put them there. And then if they make me an offer, I'll kind of pull them down the pipeline in terms of cash buyers. Somebody just I guess the answer is it depends on how much profit is left after your cut. LOL. No offense intended, but I find that if I don't find a property myself, the middleman gets the best deal by far. I'm interested in flips mostly, unless it's a multi-unit that produces well, so I can't have short margins. Completely understand. Um, if you'd like to check it out, and run your numbers to see if it's worth your time, that's fine by me. It's like I hate when people, I don't hate, but like just kind of like telling me something that I already know. Like clearly you're not gonna take it if there's not enough meat on the bones. Like, you know what I mean? She says she doesn't mean to offend, but that offends me. No offense intended. Like, well, I'm quite offended that you would think that. I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? Like I said, we're probably gonna have to renegotiate this one, depending on what Nestor's feeling, which is my guy. Sure, send it over. Send it out shortly. Thanks. So I get it, but like, don't insult me. If I send you bad deals, then just unsubscribe from my email list. It's like no big deal. You know what I mean? Property. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is, so I have. Oh wait, I had one more post that I wanted to get these emails from. Oh no, I already did. Take note of this group. Zip codes preferred. I need accurate comps. I will be personally comping them. Please email me what you have. All right. I like that. I like his style. He's just like, look, send it through. Anyone have any off-market residential properties in this zip code under 200K? Yes, I do. Didn't give her email. All right. Oh, this is 4 years old. Post. All right, this is the last one I'm gonna grab. Where was that? 8 comments, I think, on a sold property in this zip code. He was selling at 85,000. This is interesting. This looks very similar to our subject property here. 85,000 or best offer. It's a 2-1, which ours is 858 square feet. I think ours is like 960 on a 2,500 square foot lot. To type that out a little strange, but 2,500 square foot lot. Ours is 1,600, so there's a slightly bigger. Ours is slightly bigger in terms of square footage. House has significant wood rot and termite damage. You may want to do a full gut job or tear down for new construction. There is new construction next door and preparation for another 2 doors down. There's a new construction house. It's listed for 269. Um, so I've actually spoken with this person who's shown interest. This guy was like annoying about it. Um, what's your asking price? Will you take an offer now? I said, yeah, of course. We've already got a few. What are you thinking? What number we need to be at to get it done right now? And I told him like we're gonna give everybody a chance. Anyways, and then the other person who showed interest, I just added to my list. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits there. Make sure that I haven't missed any messages that somebody sent back. Hey Derek, definitely interested. Send me some more details. He gave me his phone number too. Perfect. Will do. Have a marketing piece that includes property details and additional pictures if you'd like for me to email that to you. Well, I'm definitely going to take his phone number as well. That was something that I've heard that people regret not doing sooner, is grabbing people's phone numbers, cash buyers' phone numbers. What I've gathered is that people will just go through doing the email thing and then realize that texting people is actually the best form of communication, especially if they're legit cash buyers who are ready to move on it. They don't want to, have you shouldn't want your email to just get flooded. And like this guy, this was the guy who bought my first property. He's pretty serious about it. Like, when can I go take a look at it? Like, he's on it, right? He saw that I emailed it and he called me this morning. And then I said, hey, I emailed it to you yesterday afternoon. And he's scanning through his emails like, I can't find it. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure you get a lot of emails. Let me resend it to you in like 10 minutes here. And then I resent it. He took a look at it. So, again, that's part of it as well, is your email just getting mixed up into the mess of other emails that get sent to all these people. So by having their phone numbers and texting them the opportunities instead, you kind of bypass that obstacle and that hurdle. And what I've gathered through educating myself is that a lot of the pros and the gurus and the big players in the industry, that's what they do. They have actually transitioned away from email blasting to text blasting, for that exact reason. So that's something that I'm going to, try to implement myself with my texting platform. It's nothing that I'm going to go crazy on, like these few deals until, I have a lot of stuff up here, but I don't necessarily have the budget to support it. So that's cool for now. Got my list up to 1053. I'm going to go ahead. This person just emailed me or text back saying, yes, please. Perfect. What's the best email for you? I can send over property details and additional pictures. All right, that's that. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to line up the email blast. Mhm. Yes, Derek. Hey, Derek. Yes, please text it to this number. Perfect. Will do. Um, have a marketing piece that I can send to you as well via email if you'd like. It contains the property details and pictures. But again, definitely going to grab his number. I mean, shoot, this is like a video in itself, just getting cash buyers. I think I added, I don't know how many, probably like 20 buyers today. Let's see when I think right here is, yeah, so I've added 21 buyers, probably like within the hour. How long have I been streaming? About an hour and a half, probably a little over an hour. I've added 21 buyers. So again, this is something that you can definitely outsource to a VA and pay them like $3-4 an hour. Have them do 2 hours of work a day and be able to get like 50 buyers every day added to the list, an extra couple hundred every week. about 1,000 every month, just added to your list. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of some tabs here so that I can get organized a little bit. Scrambling. So I use Gmass. It's a Gmail extension, um, and it sends off emails. Periodically, so that it doesn't blast them all out all at once. It does it in drip mode, just like my texting platform does, so that it can appear as human-like as possible. And Gmass is like a Google, like a Gmail. Like I said, it's like an extent. I don't know. I'm having trouble with that word. An extension. I don't know if it's a Google product, but the marketing that they kind of put out there is that they are preventing you from ending up in the spam folder. And they do that by adhering to Google's kind of terms and conditions of the daily and like hourly send limit per email. So if you have a Gmail account, like your email at gmail.com, I think you can only send off like a few hundred every day, like 200 a day or something like that. And then if you have a G Suite account and you are paying Google for that domain at the end, as like I am, then you can send, I think, up to 1,400 per day or something like that. And the beauty of it is that it integrates with Google. So I have the option right now. How do you want to add the recipients? I want to add it from a Google sheet. So a Google sheet is where I house all of my lists, my buyers list. So then I can say select spreadsheet, choose the spreadsheet. Now it's connecting to it. And on the spreadsheet, I have multiple tabs. So the first one is just my master list. So I want to click that one, which I have. Optional settings. You can filter rows to send it to just specific emails on the rows, but I just want to send it to everybody. Keep duplicate emails. I do not, so I leave that unchecked. Update sheet with reporting data. So which is cool because now I'm going to send it off, and then it'll dynamically update on that same Google sheet who opened it, who replied, what emails bounced, stuff like that. So you can see the results of your email blast, and it's just going to update automatically on your Google sheet. So I'm going to say connect to spreadsheet. All right. All right. So subject, I'm going to say rate flip opportunity in zip code. I like to go into my deleted messages. I am on a lot of wholesalers' email lists just to kind of gauge the climate and see what people are doing, how they're putting in their subject lines, what they're including in their emails, stuff like that. So like I always hesitate to put emojis in my subject line, but it looks like some people do. I wonder if it translates to any more opens or stuff like that. But I think I'm going to, in this case, I think I'm going to pull up the emoji keyboard and just grab the picture of the house. May sound corny, but this little stuff really matters when it comes to open rate. Email marketing is its own beast. I swear you used to be able to search. Supposed to flip through every single buildings. There we go, buildings. Yeah, just give me the house with the garden, or nah, just the house, no garden. All right, and then gentleman messaged me with his email, which is different than the one I have. So again, glad that I asked for it. So great flip opportunity in this zip code with the house emojis in the subject line. And then what I'm going to do is just simply copy and paste this marketing piece that I have to my email. Still, I have to keep you a secret. I can't let people know what's really going on. Wait. Stupid. All right. Like I said, I'm just copying and pasting. I have like a Google Doc that has all the details of the property, the asking price, kind of like little notes about it. So in this case, I noted that it is tenant occupied. The property can be delivered vacant, but that a trash out will be required. And I just try to put, like I said, something a little specific about it, like corner lot I have on this one as well. So it's like, here's the address, here's the size of the lot, and it is on a corner lot. What else? Just trying to think of something else that isn't applicable to this property, but you get the general gist of what I'm trying to say. Just I try to include something that goes beyond just beds, baths, square feet, stuff like that. And then on here as well, like I said, asking price, year bill, and then in this one I did include some comps. To each his own whether or not you want to include comps. I know people tend to not include them because um, they just want their buyers to do their own due diligence, and you don't necessarily want to be telling them what it's worth because you run the risk of telling them like a price or providing comps that will actually deflate the value of the property, right? Hopefully that makes sense. So you just want them to run their own comps because for all you know, they're going to find comps that are at much higher price points than what you found, and it'll have them interested in offering much more than what you provided. Is if you provide comps that are super low value, then you're kind of just telling them, hey, the property isn't worth much. And then I have a link for click here for more pictures. I'm going to go ahead and click that just to test it out. I do not include, again, the house number on the email, the title of the Google Drive, and I even sometimes try to pay attention to the picture of the front of the property to see if there's any pictures with the house numbers on the front. I don't really see that there is. But again, this is one where it's kind of like to each his own. If you want to include it, include it. But I probably won't include it until I have a solid list of buyers that I know aren't going to try anything funny. The pics don't have the house number, right? No, I don't see that they do. So that's that. And then I have one picture of just the front of the house. And then on the bottom, I say important information, please read. To make an offer, email back or call, text me at my number. Let me make sure that I have that number correct. Yep. And then I say, please do your own due diligence. You can, based off what I've done, I've said that, but people are still going to ask you, how much do you think it's going to be in repairs? How much? Was that in there?
What is this?
Oh, that must have been a mistake. One second. Where was it? Oh, it's because when I got the. Oh, that's weird. It's probably when I got the toilet paper.
Did you go last night? I'm sorry, but that has not been in there for longer than a day. That's disgusting. I'm like, what?
That's so weird.
Sure is. I'm almost
All right. But my thought, don't tell them how much it's going to be in repairs. The only reason they're asking you how much you think it's going to be in repairs is to negotiate with you and to respond and say, oh, that much, it's going to take way more than that. You know what I mean? So if you don't truly know, then tell them that. I don't know how much it's going to actually take in repairs. Every contractor is going to be able to do it for a different price. Every investor has multiple contractor relationships where they're going to get multiple bids anyways. So like, who am I to tell them how much they need to spend on the property? I don't know their exit strategy. I don't know what they intend, what their scope of work is going to be, what they intend to even do to the property. So I'm in no position to tell them how much it's going to cost. So I just simply say that, I really don't know. We're gonna have an opportunity for you to walk the property if that's something that you're interested in, but we're just gonna have everybody do their own due diligence. I'm in no position to tell you how much you should be spending on the property. $4,000 non-refundable earnest money secures the deal. It's pretty much saying if you want it, you got to put this money up, show that you're serious about it. Buyer pays all closing costs. Um, that is going to be dependent on what you've agreed to with the seller. So in this case, we have agreed to cover the closing costs for the seller. So any buyer that we assign the deal to is going to fill the shoes, fill our shoes in the original purchase and sale agreement. So they also have to be willing to cover the closing costs. And then cash or hard money only, please, is how I end the email. Mentioning that is just pretty much ruling out anybody who needs to go get a conventional loan, anybody who doesn't have the cash on hand or have the relationships with a hard money lender to be able to raise that money or get that money for the deal within the time frame that we need them to get it, which is rather quickly depending on whenever you set your closing date. Our closing date I think was 45 or 60 days out from when the contract was signed a couple weeks ago, so probably about like a month out. uh, so I'm going to go send that off, give it one more look over. Great opportunity. North Seas assignment of contract 2-1. I also want to make sure the details are correct. In terms of square feet, yes. Yep. Tenant occupied property can be delivered vacant. Trash out will be. Oh, let's say trash out required. Boom. Sending it off. You're about to send a campaign to a large number of addresses. Just confirming. Are you sure? Sure I am. Send it. Send it. All right, you did it. GMAS has scheduled your campaign and your emails will be sent right now at exactly right now You can alter the schedule and other settings by finding the email in your drafts folder and clicking the settings. Reference this campaign ID is this. All right, boom. So let me go over to my sent emails, see that they are getting sent out. I don't know what. I saw your text. I'll take them out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get into my sauna. I mean, without getting into it because you're on there. I just feel like it's been a long time. I'm
Sure.
just wondering. I don't care if you're talking to me. Just not talk solo.
Oh, I gotta talk loud.
You can talk like that.
I'm gonna be here for probably until like noon, and then that's probably when I plan on taking him out.
I don't care if you're here. I'm just asking you.
All right. Yeah, close the door. I won't scream. All right. I actually wanted to let that breathe for a little bit, even if I do get replies back. Something that Jared, if you're on here, you'll know this is one of Brent Daniels' recent emails or recent videos, YouTube videos. He had his disposition manager come on and talk about how he handles the dispo side of things, and he mentioned that he will send off the blast, either text or email, just send it off to a bunch of people, and to let it sit for like 30 minutes. Don't answer the phone, don't reply to any text, don't reply to any emails. It gives off the illusion that you're just getting so inundated with phone calls and emails and text backs that when you do get back to them, it's like, hey, sorry, like I've just been slammed with all the responses. Everybody wants this property. Not saying that, but like again, giving off that kind of illusion. Like everybody wants this. I'm sorry. Like I didn't realize I was gonna get so many texts back. So that's kind of what I'm gonna do right now. I just sent it off. It's already been sent off to 150, hundreds of people, about 200 people. So getting some replies. I don't know. A lot of them are going to be, yeah. Hey, buddy, stop. 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 Enough. It's enough. Jesus. So I got somebody's out of office. Thank you for your email. I'm currently out of the office. You'll get a lot of these too. Come on, man. Consumer protection. This is just auto responses is essentially what these are. Address not found. So for something like this, I'm going to take it and delete it from my list. Because again, the more times I email these properties that aren't even, or emails that aren't even good emails, the higher the chance that future emails are going to end up in the spam folder. So did the email blast. What I'll do is I plan to like do that probably like every day this week with like different subject lines. Facebook groups. I'll do that like every other day, or at least like bump the post every other day. Craigslist. If I do decide to do that, I'll do it every day to multiple, like 2 or 3 different areas of Craigslist. And then realtors who rep investors on comps, I'm going to try to do that today, not tomorrow. And that's just going to be a one-time thing, calling all the realtors in the area. Man. So So what I'm going to do now actually is close out of some of these tabs because I don't really need them open anymore. Two, three, four, five, six. A bunch of these emails have bounced. So like after all is said and done, I'm probably gonna come in and delete all the emails that bounced again for the same reason. I don't want to continue emailing them if they're never gonna go through. That just ruins the reputation of my email. What I was gonna do is finish up on Facebook. Thank you for your greetings. Due to high workloads, I'm currently checking and responding to emails twice daily. If you require urgent assistance, I'll leave Facebook up. Keep my email up. All right. Now what I'm going to do is a little bit of lead generation. I'm going to send off some texts. And then depending on what type of response I get from the emails, I'm going to go in and post it to the Facebook groups and Craigslist probably after lunch. So here we go. I have a lot of people I can text. A lot of people. I'm going to finish the last people that I wanted to text last week, but didn't get around to it. So I have 265. I think I'm just going to send them all off right now. Starting with this group of 140. I'm going to go ahead and add to campaign. Okay, proceed. Add them to my general 20-day campaign. Add in drip mode. Say 140, right? That's how many I said, 140. Oh no, I only grabbed 10 of them. Select all 140. There we go. 140 contact, import to general 20-day campaign. Start on today at what, 1 p.m., which is 5 minutes from now. Let's send 5 every 1 minute. I'll send off like 8 every minute. Try to get through these quick. So it's gonna take me about 17. Boom. GMAS has sent 973 emails successfully. So there it is. So I probably had about 60 to 70 emails that bounced. So that should take me less than 20 minutes to get through these. Start at 1 p.m. and go till 1:30 just in case it'll cut off at that point if my math was wrong. Going to go ahead and add them to the campaign. So those are going to go out in 4 minutes. Let's check in, see if I have any emails. GMAS notifier sent 700. Okay, here we go. 973 emails, and it took 9.5 minutes. Total emails sent for campaign 973. Out of the 1,046, 973 remaining email addresses in current batch after removing already sent, duplicates, unsubscribes, bounces, suppression. So 73 of them bounced. So I can go through right now and just simply filter through that. Johnny says, is this still available? Boom. We buy and wholesale real estate everywhere and anywhere all day. So that's one I'm going to go ahead and star and get back to again after I send off these emails and make them wait a little bit. Don't know if that's the best. Don't know. Not recommending that. That's just how I'm going to play it right now. Bada boom. Bada bang. 3 minutes. Those are going out. Going to pull open my call tools for when people reply negatively and want to be removed from the list. And I've told myself I want to continue doing this to keep track of how many true contacts I'm making on a daily basis. I just kind of want to keep tally of them. So by doing this, I'll know how many real contacts I've made through text messaging today by only taking note of the people who it's clear that they are the right person and that I'll be removing them from my dialer as well. I'm going to be writing those people down so that I can actually do just that. And then afterwards, I'll be able to see like, oh, okay, 10 people I removed from my dialer that text me back saying no. And it was clear that they're the right person. So again, just kind of want to get a general understanding of how many people I'm truly connecting with through text when I send them off at the scale that I'm sending them off, which is 140 right now. And then once that's up, I'm going to try to send off another like 120. So on a little over 260 or texts, how many of those are actually legitimate responses, either yes or no? All right, those are going off in 1 minute. All right, here we go. All right. Says that it started. It's always a little bit of a delay though. Man, why does it do this? It's always like not showing me the messages. Super annoying, man. It'll do this every once in a while. I can go into my bulk actions and see that 24 have already been successfully sent, but I can't see they haven't popped up in my conversations tab. I'm not quite sure why that is. Let me sign out and sign back in. Nope. I don't know, man. I don't know why it does this. Maybe I just have too much going on. Like, I have no idea. Yeah, this is really frustrating, man. 40 of them have already been sent out, and I can't see any of them. Just submitted a ticket to the support team because this is not the first time I've run into this issue. Still hasn't. It's been 6 minutes and I'm still seeing the messages from 2 days ago and not the 40 to 50 texts that have already been sent. Super frustrating, man. There we go. 7 minutes it took to update. So I gotta catch up. There we go. Starting to get some text back. All right. Pretty much all caught up on the text. See what kind of replies I've gotten. You guys are a bunch of effing idiots. Get your heads out of your ass and get your info straight. Effing idiots. Wrong number. Right, some ringless voicemails are starting to get dropped. That's when they're going to be like, oh, what's this? He's calling me too? He left me a voicemail? Wonder who this guy is. Wonder who this guy is. And if you haven't tapped in before, what I'm doing is just simply going through the messages individually. Some of them kick back with an error code for one reason or another. Some of them aren't deliverable. So for the most part, they may be incorrectly tagged as a LAN or a mobile when it's really a landline by batch skip tracing, or their text just they don't have the type of service that allows them to text. Hey Derek, what's up? What's going on, Unlimited? But I just got this error code now that I don't know if I've ever gotten. Landline or unreachable number. So what I do is I just tag those cold call, and then I will bring those into my dialer at one point in time. Come on, just lay down, buddy. You're not doing anything. Just down, buddy. Lay down. Freak, bro. Stop. Just lay down. Down. No. Down. No. 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 Buddy. Quit. Stop. Oh my goodness. So if they kick back as an error, I tag them cold call. They're going to get removed from any future text messages. They get removed from my text campaign so that I'm not wasting money texting somebody who can't even receive text. And then I bring the number into my dialer to try to just hit them from all angles, being both texting, ringless voicemail, or cold calling. So it's pretty tedious manual labor, but again, at the level that I'm at, with the marketing budget that I have to work with, I'm comfortable doing it like this. Yep. What's up? Yeah, 1 second. One second, guys. So those ones should. I think that's I'm not getting too many responses at all, but I think per minute isn't too much for me to handle. Dialed the wrong number. System picked up on that phrase, wrong number, tagged it as wrong number, removed it from the campaign, and then marked the conversation as read. It did all that without me even having to touch it, which is beneficial. Same with that other one where he was like effing idiots. It handled that for me because it picked up on the F bomb. It, flagged it as DNC, the campaign, marked the conversation as read. It did all that good stuff for me. I just happened to see it. Whereas if you were doing this at scale, you don't even really have to look at those messages. So this gentleman just texted me back saying no. So I'm going to tag him not interested in text platform. I'm not going to remove him from my dialer though, because for all I know, it's not even the right person. I need the response to be a little bit more concrete. Like, no, we are not interested in selling our house, right? Because I'm referencing the address in my opening text. So I need them to say something like along the lines of that for me to actually consider removing it from my dialer. This gentleman just said stop. Same thing. System picked up on it. Miguel said, who is this? I'm going to send off the templated response to that question. Who are you? What do you want? Say, I'm a local home buyer actively buying in this city. Have you ever considered selling that address? Ooh, hard. No, this dog never stops licking. This person says stop. So nothing too favorable here. What dialer do you use? I use Call Tools. Call Tools. I've used Mojo in the past. I like Mojo. Can't lie, I might even like it more than Call Tools. Right. I have two people asking for the address. I'm going to do is try to vet them myself before just asking them for proof of funds by looking them up on my buyers list. I'm renting here. I don't own this property. How did you get my number? No. So does Call Tools do all that for you? Like picks up on messages and things? That's REI Reply. That's my texting platform that does that. Yeah. You have to set it up. They're called triggers, but you can set all that up in the back end. Like if anybody drops the F bomb, remove them from the campaign, mark them DNC, mark the conversation as read. If somebody says, anything, stop, unsubscribe, quit, cancel, any of those like buzzwords that it's clear that they're trying to get unsubscribed from the campaign. You can set all those up in the back end to mark them DNC, mark the conversation as read, remove them from the campaign. So yeah, it'll do all that for you. You have to set it up on the back end though. Um, but it's kind of one of those things where I pick up on something new almost every time I send off a campaign, and it's like, oh, like I can set up a trigger for that. Like I have a few people that text me saying this, or I can set up a follow-up campaign. Some people, like something that I'm considering setting up is a campaign for people who reply telling me that they are interested, but they've already signed a contract, right? So it may not be somebody who I'm wanting to manually follow up with until they close and get paid, but I do definitely want to stay in contact with them. So I'm thinking of setting up a campaign to then just move them over to get texted every couple days, every so often, to remind them, hey, I'm interested. I know that you said that you accepted another offer, but just in case, I'd love to give you a backup offer. Or just in case, they try to play games with you and renegotiate the price at the very last minute, please keep me in mind. I don't know exactly what I'm going to say, but I do intend on setting that campaign up. So then you can just, the more you do that, the more manual work that you set up on the back end, the easier it's going to be for you moving forward, because then you can just simply place people into buckets, have them handled based on the triggers, based on what they're saying. So every time you add some type of new implementation, you can remove yourself from the manual labor of it moving forward. Uh-oh, that's not right. Not for sale. So like this gentleman, I'm assuming that that's the right person, but this guy got a text when he wasn't supposed to. I'm going to go into the campaign and make sure that I didn't mess something up. So general campaigns. Yeah, they should only be getting that the next day, 25 hours later. For some reason, he got it like a minute later. Are you out of your effing mind? Get a life for yourself. So like this guy knows. I feel like I was just got to do something. Well, I can go ahead and remove him from dialer. Just going into my dialer and marking him not interested, because there's no point in calling him if he's texting me saying he's not interested. I know some people may beg to differ and they may choose to call him as well. again, to each his own. I'm not telling you what to do or how to operate in your business. That's just how I'm handling it. With my limited marketing budget, I want to make my dollar stretch, and I don't want to be wasting time calling people who have already told me no through text. So again, I know that people who have the budget to blow and that you know they're willing and probably maybe even generating leads off of opportunities like that. Um, it, I just know that that's not the low hanging fruit, right? So the amount of people that you would have to call after they've already texted you saying no to generate an actual hot lead, in my head at least, is going to be a whole lot of people. So until you're doing it at scale, I foresee until you're doing it at scale, it's not really, there's no point in following up with somebody who has said no, at least so quickly, right? I do know that there's benefit in following up with people who have said no every 6 to 12 months because circumstances change. But these, I'm planning on calling these people within the next week. So if they're texting me today saying that they're not interested in selling, I'm not going to call them on Wednesday or Thursday and ask again. So I'm just looking these people up on Facebook, the people who have emailed me back for that deal that's asking for the address. I'm just seeing if I can maybe find them on Facebook and determine whether or not they're legit. Mutual friends. Assistant General Counsel at Total Energies. So she's a lawyer. Former attorney, study business, studied at University of Houston. Seems like a nice woman though. Older woman. I'm just gonna go ahead and send it off to her. A conversation with her. Do you buy a lot of property in the area? Take note of her. How they got a hold of me. Just email for this person. This person says, what is the complete address? This person looks like a part of the group of the gentleman who I already provided that address to. The broker that I was referring to. Let me see if I provided it to him. Yeah, I already provided it to him. and starting a little conversation. I said, thanks for your interest. Here's the complete address. I just realized that you were part of this group, the brokerage. I actually sent this over to Michael, which was the broker earlier via Facebook. Let me know if there's any interest. I'd love to connect and work with you all on this one, and as well as future opportunities that come up. This person, hi Derek, can you please share the address of the property and when can we take a look at it? I'm gonna do the same thing here. Look them up on Facebook. Our team has been actively, so I see a post that they posted in a group, Texas RIAs. Our team has been actively looking for flip deals in Houston, and one question which we need some help and guidance on is how to find good quality contractors with reasonable price range. Really appreciate it if you can share some insights on finding reliable contractors for flippers. So there you go. She's actively looking for contractors. This was posted in December of 2020, so it's been about a year since she posted this, but there you go. Let me just pull up her page, see what it's looking like. His page. I would have taken him. Lives in New York. For this guy, I'm going to ask for his proof of funds. Thanks for showing interest in this one. If you don't mind sending over a proof of funds letter, I'd be happy to share the complete address with you. We are currently scheduling a time for everybody to walk the property sometime this weekend. Once we get a day time confirmed, I can round back with you and provide the details. On the lookout for your reply. Don't mind sending over a proof of funds letter. I'd be happy to share the complete address with you. As soon as the time remember to walk probably sometime this weekend. Once we get a date time confirmed, I can remember we get funds. Just kind of taking note of all the conversations that I'm having with people. You know, so that if it gets to be too many, I can like refer to this little list. Hi, Derek. Yes, I have interest. Thanks for reaching out. What's the property? Great. I saw that your email was this. Is that still the best email for you? If so, I just sent out an email with the property details and additional pictures. Yes, still an email I use. Perfect. Let take a look and let me know what you think. Johnny. Hey, Johnny. Yes, this is still available. We will be taking offers sight unseen, but we'll have a time to walk the property this weekend for those who would like to. Please let me know if there is any interest. So far to the email campaign, I've had one person ask if it's still available and 3 people ask for the complete address. Awesome, I'll check it out. We'll do. Let me hop back over to my texting. Nothing crazy today. I didn't think so because this is going to be like the second or the third number in line with the batch skip tracing results. So I'm going to go ahead and come back over to contacts, and I'm going to see that all of them did actually get sent out. Which they did. So I'm going to delete this smart list. Come back over to this list, which is 125 records. Make sure I've never texted any of these people before, which I have not. So select all 125, add it to the campaign. Add it to the general 20-day campaign. Add in drip mode. 125 contact import to general 20-day campaign. Start on today at 1:45 my markets time PM, which is in 3 minutes. I'm going to do 8 every minute, starting from 1:30 PM. 8 a minute for 125 will take me roughly 15 minutes. So I'll go 1:30 to 2 PM. 8 a minute, starting in 3 minutes, 125. Go ahead, add that to the campaign. So those are going to get sent off in 2 minutes. Hop back over to my conversations, make sure that I didn't miss anything, which I did not. I really only got like one solid no from that. I got a couple stops. Are you out of your mind? No. How'd you get my number? I'm renting here. Stop. Who is this? No. But the only one that again I counted as like a real firm no was the gentleman said no, it's not for sale. So to me, that's the right person, and that they're not interested in selling the property that I'm texting them about. So I went ahead, marked him not interested within my texting platform, and then I also removed him and marked him not interested in my dialer because I just don't want to waste time calling him at a later date. So those are going to get sent off in 2 minutes. Uh, Commented on my photo. It's kind of weird. Answered my question a day ago. Hmm. Thanks, Derek. Please see attached for proof of funds. This is actually the first time that I've ever gotten a reply for that. Um, it was something that I only started asking last deal, but the last deal wasn't truly a deal, and I didn't know that, but everybody else knew it. So anybody who I did ask for proof of funds, they're like, "Oh, it's not worth the time. What's up? Just hop back in. What's happened so far?" In terms of the dispo for the deal, I've gotten one person asking if it's still through the email replies. I got one person asking if it's still available. Just let him know that it was. I had 3 other people ask what the complete address was. I was able to determine like 2 of them were either part of a brokerage that I already spoke to the broker about, or another one who was a part of some investor groups that I'm a part of, and she was asking for recommendations on contractors because she's gearing up for some flips. So I didn't have an issue providing her the address either. This gentleman, I actually asked for proof of funds because I found him on Facebook, and it looks like he lives in New York. And uh, not to say that he's not doing it, but I couldn't really find anything on Facebook to kind of pre-qualify him to just toss him the address. So I asked for proof of funds, and this is the first time that anybody's ever actually given me proof of funds. Um, so he said, "Thanks, Derek. Please see attached for proof of funds." And he just sent me a Chase bank account with his LLC that I can, I guess, quickly Google to see what pops up. And on open corporates, you can see that it is status in existence, a year old, and his name is on it. So that's good enough for me. Yeah, he's a managing member of the LLC in Houston. So that's cool. And the proof of funds is just simply a screenshot of a bank statement with his LLC over the top, and it says checking summary, deposits, and additions. He has 360,000 in the bank as of 3 weeks ago, but that's all good with me. So I'll email him back. What did I say? If you don't mind sending over proof of funds letter, I'll be happy to share the complete address with you. Yeah. Hey, thanks for getting back to me so quickly. Complete address is take a look and let me know what you think. I'm gonna say the same thing. We are accepting offers sight unseen, but will be scheduling a time for walk for those who want to do that. Take a look and let me know what you think. Any more complicated? So I'm going to take note of that. Provided proof of funds. Hop back over to my text. And those have been sent off. I'm rolling today. And then what I'm going to do, Jared, if you're still on here, I'm getting ready to take a quick lunch break in probably 15, 20 minutes. And then when I get back, probably in like an hour and a half or so, I'm going to start posting it to these Facebook groups and possibly Craigslist. Gary says wrong person. System picked up on that, tagged it wrong number, all that good stuff. That was cool. I liked that. I liked that he provided me the proof of funds almost ASAP. And then looked up his LLC that was on the top of his bank statement and saw that his name was a managing member of that LLC. So pretty reassuring, and I'm glad that I was able to put the pieces of the puzzle together like that in order to kind of pre-qualify him. Like I said, that was the first time that I've actually done that. I know that people recommend asking for proof of funds and that the serious buyers will provide it. So that's actually the first time that I've seen that through, and pretty excited to see what he says about the property, because now I kind of almost respect his opinion. If he tells me, something, I know that he's a flipper in the area and that he does business. His LLC is active and he has 360,000 in the bank. Look, I don't own this property. Stop texting me. Wrong number. Here we go. No, not for sale. To me, again, that's the person that I'm wanting to get a hold of. So I'm going to take note of their name, and I will remove them from my dialer in a moment. Tag them not interested. Apply, mark as red. And you may think to yourself, if you've been watching this and you heard my explanation of the triggers on the back end, why don't you have a trigger set up for somebody who's saying not for sale? Because at one point I had that trigger and I was cycling through the text individually like I'm doing right now, and realized that somebody had texted me saying, no, it's not for sale right now, but we may be interested in, a couple months or something like that. And then I was grateful that I saw that. I was like, oh, wow. I need to cancel that trigger. So now I just got rid of that trigger because it's just going to say the phrase. So you can set up phrase or exact. So I think I may have the exact trigger. If somebody says not for sale and only not for sale, then you can go ahead and mark it on the back end saying that they're not interested. So this person said, yes, we sold it last year. I'll hit her with the template saying, which is my already sold, don't own it anymore template. Oh, okay. Would you happen to have any other property you'd be interested in selling at the moment? I'm gonna go ahead and take her name and address down. Mark her already sold. Just catching up on the text here. Hello, no, stop. I picked up on the word stop. Can't quite be sure if that's the person that I'm looking for, so almost all caught up, about a minute behind, which should be about 8 texts. Wrong number. System picked up on that. Stop. System got that one. I don't own that property. Stop calling. Stop. Why does it say that I'm getting so many texts though? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm all caught up. Yeesh. All right. So that's that. Hop back over, see if I've gotten any more emails. Johnny, thanks, Derek. Yeah, so I mean, this guy doesn't even have the address. I don't know if he intends on making an offer or what, but he doesn't seem as legit. This guy has a Yahoo email. All day real estate buyers, Houston underground deals. We buy and wholesale real estate everywhere and anywhere all day. Established 99. All about trust. Pull someone up today. I don't know. That just doesn't seem like a legit buyer to me. So I don't really care if he doesn't have the address. I'm not going to go out of my way to provide it to him. If he does come back and ask for it, I'll ask for proof of funds. I think what I want to do too is edit that. Um, edit this and say, okay.
I mean, I'm just letting you know I'm not in my car.
Okay. The Pilot Park. Yep. I wanted to edit this marketing piece and say, asking price OBO. So that people at least are willing to throw a number out. Whereas if like I feel like if it doesn't say OBO or best offer, it's kind of gives off the impression as if I'm firm and not willing to hear offers less than that. Remove this number, stop. System picked up on that. What's going on, everybody in here right now? I appreciate you all for hopping in and tapping in. Do me a huge favor. Please do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe button before you leave. I have a goal for myself, 250 before the end of March. And I know that I'm not going to be able to do that alone, obviously. I'm going to need the support of you guys. So if you care at all about me, you will go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate you guys again. Sending off the text for the day. I think that'll be it for the day. I want to slow play it because I do want to stay consistent. I don't want to just blow the load right now and text 1,000 people and then have nobody to text tomorrow. So I just sent off a batch of like 265-ish texts. I've blasted out an email to my buyers list for this property we have under contract that we're looking to get assigned. And also added like another 50 people to the list and kind of slid in some people's DMs on Facebook to see if there's any interest there. It's kind of what my mornings look like. Once I take a break in a minute here, I'm going to come back and start posting that deal to all the Facebook groups, and possibly trying to continue adding to my list as the days go on throughout the week. And so that when I resend the email out, I'm going to try to send it out like every day. Um, if I don't get more interest in like by Wednesday or something, maybe I send it out with a price reduction, within the subject line, hey, price reduced, and then, strike out the price on the text, and then price now. I don't know, just kind of slow playing it, seeing what kind of interest I can gauge, and keeping track of who shows interest, who has shown interest in walking the property. At this point, we do have one gentleman, which was my first buyer who I signed my first deal to. He's interested. The property that I signed to him is close to this area. So he's taken a look and says he likes it and wants to walk the property. So I'm just kind of keeping him in the loop about when we're going to be able to get that scheduled for him. And like I said, just kind of keeping tabs on it. Everybody who gets back to me about the property shows interest, so that maybe I round back with them in a few days if they haven't actually officially made an offer, to see where they would be at in terms of their number. Hey Derek, I've been watching off and on. Congrats on getting one step closer to closing your third deal. Thanks, sophisticated one. I appreciate you for hopping on here. I couldn't have done this one, and I won't. I'm not gonna jinx it. Knock on wood. I do think that this is going to be one that sees the closing table. I think that a few things may have to happen in order for that to take place. One being that I'm not sure if we're going to need a price reduction. That's really what I'm doing right now, is trying to throw it out to get feelers from buyers to, receive feedback, see where they would be at in terms of an offer, and seeing if it's necessary to go back and get it reduced. But I was going to say I couldn't do any of this without Jared and Raina. Again, shout out to them, faithful subscribers to the channel, and at this point, partners of mine who we are working this deal. Raina is in direct contact with the seller and tenant, as both of them are Spanish speaking, so she's been facilitating all that. So I'm really just trying to do my part now in finding a buyer, and hopefully handle the disposition end of things very smoothly, bring a buyer to the table that has the money, that's able to close. And then what I'd love to happen is for it to just simply be the only thing that needs to take place is to get the tenant out, right? And if that's all that we have to worry about, then we'd be sitting pretty. So a couple steps before that has to happen. I think we need to get a date and time locked up for buyers to walk the property who do show interest and want to walk it, like this gentleman here. Receive offers, get an offer accepted, get the assignment agreement signed, have them submit their earnest money to the title company, open escrow with the title company with all the paperwork involved. And that's why at that point, I'd love to get to that point and just kind of be sitting pretty, already have the buyer's earnest money into title, non-refundable, so they've committed to the deal, and then just kind of sit back, and not sit back, but have the only priority be to get the tenant out of the property so that we can actually close on it and get paid. I'd love for us to get to that point within the next few days. Not interested, don't contact me again. So with those, I'm going to go in and remove a couple more people from my dialer who I feel it was the right person, and let me know that they were not interested. And then I'm also going to go into my texting platform and see if there's anybody to remove there as well, because a lot of, or as of recently, I guess, I've been putting in the same property with different phone numbers, because that's just how they recommended that you do it. I try to do it. I try to get creative and do it a different way, but it doesn't work. You just have to submit the same property, the same seller name with a different number attached, and then it's going to create its own essentially property. So a lot of times I will have, three different numbers, appears to be three different properties. Um, but one of them was a good number and they've already texted me back saying that they're not interested. So I like to go in and remove the other numbers associated with that property as well, just so that I don't end up again wasting money by texting that one. If I've already connected with the property owner, why would I waste my time and money trying to try a different number for that person? So in this case, it already happened. I texted somebody 5 days ago. She let me know that it was already sold, and then I texted her 15 minutes ago, and then it was already sold. So I mistakenly did not remove the second one. I'll delete one of them now. I'll delete the older one. So again, that's a perfect example. I kind of just wasted, granted, probably a couple pennies to text that woman again, but I also paid for her inbound text. I spent time trying to handle it. So again, it was kind of just time and money wasted unnecessarily. Not like it was something crazy. Like I said, probably a few pennies, but shoot, that adds up. Warren says he picks up a penny off the ground. He says the start of my next million. So they test 1, 2, 3. This is REI replied doing a test. So they probably got my ticket that says, "Hey, I'm not seeing this stuff pop up." I do now, but it takes like almost 10 minutes. There's like almost a 10-minute delay from when the messages are being sent out to when I can see them in my conversations tab. And it's not that big of a deal, but I would prefer that it's a little bit more dynamic, that it updates as it's happening. Could be picky with that, but whatever. Paying for this stuff. So I got probably 4 solid no's through text. And this gentleman thinks, how much is the current rent and when is your open house? The tenant is currently, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to rentometer.com and try to determine what rent rates are going for in the area, because I know that she's paying something super low in rent based on what she's able to probably get. So rent estimate in the area is $1,200. She's paying 500. So I'm gonna go ahead on rentometer.com. You can just type in the address, number of beds, number of baths, and then max square feet. I'm gonna do 1,000 because our property is like 920. Let's see if that gives me anything in the area that yeah, so it gives me a lot of stuff. I don't know what it really means. It's showing me a map, but so the average rent is 1,074. The median is 1,088. 898 is the 25th percentile. The 75th percentile is 1,250. Results based on 14 2-bedroom single bath rentals seen within 12 months in a 2-mile radius. A min max price or square feet has been set, which is the square feet max 1,000. I'm gonna go search radius half a mile. See what that shows me. Oh, free search limit reached. To use our full sign up for the free trial and receive 5 free pro reports. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? They allow 1 search. I'm gonna go incognito. So no, how do they know? I'm incognito. Oh well, within a mile or 2 miles, it said, right? Within 2 miles. Well, I can only just answer his question. The tenant is currently paying $500 per month. Um, but really only uses it for quote unquote storage. So her rate is definitely not indicative of what I imagine you'd be able to collect uh, moving forward. You're still confirming details for the property walkthrough. Um, tenant, still confirming the details with the tenant for the property walkthrough. If there is definite interest, I can be sure to keep you updated when we confirm date. Here's REI reply getting back to me. Good day. Thank you for contacting REI reply. We hope this email finds you well. Upon checking, your Twilio numbers are working. Your messages are sent for today too. However, we can't control the response rate. That's not what I'm asking. Whatever. It works now. You texting, blasting buyers. Pretty sure Maria said 500 a month because she said she was using it as storage. Yeah, that's what I said. No, I'm not text blasting buyers, although only because I don't have a list. I only recently started to collect buyers' phone numbers. Um, so I only have like a handful of buyers, but that's a good idea that I can do that as well. I can pull a list and get that skip trace. Um, I might just sign up for a free trial of PropStream and pull a list of cash buyers. Uh, so that's what I'll do. So I email blasted it. I'm going to email blast it again tomorrow, and every day this week, maybe like multiple times a day, moving. It's closer to the end of the week. Um, Gonna blast it out to the Facebook groups in like an hour here, and I'm gonna do that every day as well. Bump the post it to Craigslist every day. Reach out to some realtors on the comps, and then pull a list of buyers to text. Get that skip trace tonight so that I can send those texts off tomorrow. And then kind of just do the same thing. I might even cold call that list as well. And the beauty too of doing something like this, looking for a buyer, is I can stay up like all night tonight and slide into people's Facebook DMs because they're not gonna care if I'm DMing them on Facebook at 3 in the morning, but they will care if I'm calling them at 3 in the morning. You know what I mean? So there's only so many things in the business that you can do outside of business hours, and sliding into DMs is definitely one of them. Although it may not be as appropriate, uh, I don't think people would really care. Have you had any success on Craigslist? I haven't. I was kind of just mentioning this earlier. The only people who I have reach out to me on Craigslist really are other wholesalers. I get a lot of phone calls. I get a lot of people because I feel like I guess a lot of people are on Craigslist. But the type of crowd who's on Face or Craigslist is like not the type of crowd I guess who I'm wanting to market it to. I'm only operating off of a small sample size as well, so I don't, not to say that people aren't gonna be generating opportunity off of Craigslist, but I just feel like the type of crowd on Craigslist isn't the best. Um, I have gotten contacted a lot off Craigslist posts before when trying to dispo property, and I just found that 99% of them were other wholesalers, and not only other wholesalers, but other wholesalers trying to be like snakes about it, who aren't outright telling me what they're trying to do, which is essentially daisy chain the deal. I have to like pre-qualify them and vet them and kind of beat around the bush and like I just don't like talking to people like that. You know what I mean? When you're talking to somebody and both of you know that you're withholding information and both of you are trying to feel the other person out, so you're not really being honest and you're not like showing your true colors. I just hate that type of conversation. I want somebody like that guy who just emailed me, hey, what's the address? And I say, send through a proof of funds and I'll send it over. He sends over a proof of funds, boom, there it is. What's the address? Here's the address, let me know if there's any interest. Like that's the type of conversations that I'm trying to have. Not only is it simple, but it gives me confidence to know that that person probably has the means of actually closing on the property and providing the funds to do so. So to answer your question, I mean, I haven't had no, I've never generated a true cash buyer off of Craigslist. I don't think. All right, let me clean up a little bit here. So I'm done. Text for the day sent off. That was kind of annoying. That reply from from support here that I clearly didn't read my message, but uh, usually I have pretty good uh, things to say about the support here at REI Reply. I think it was just kind of a unique situation, and I know that I'm being impatient. It worked after a few minutes. Um, come in here, make sure all these were sent messages to, which they were. Go ahead and delete this smart list. There's that. All right, and then I have 176 plus 228 plus 145. 550 people to text tomorrow. And I'm gonna try to do that. Yes, they sound shady. Yeah, yeah. I feel like I have a pretty good judge of character in that as well. It's like I know when you're being weird about it and when you're not. Um, I guess I just need to be a little bit more firm and put my foot down and say like, hey, look, if this is what you're doing, I'm not interested. Because I tend to lean on the side of like still respecting them and like letting them talk and try to get the address out of me, and I just end up just wasting time. But all right, I'm gonna call it quits right here for a quick break. Gonna go take this guy out, eat a little bit, come back on, and then I'm gonna. What I'll do is I'll probably do a little bit of cold calling to actually give you guys something to engage with and hear while I'm working. What's going on, Otis? Getting ready to hop off right now for a quick break. But do me a favor, hit that like button before you leave. I'm going to probably do some more dispo stuff on the background and kind of narrate it, but I'm probably going to also be cold calling at the same time, so that I can, one, give you guys something to listen to, and two, uh, continue generating more leads. So, but I can like post it to the Facebook groups, post it to Craigslist on the background while I do that. Maybe pull a list as well. Show I got you. Thank you, my man. So yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in a little bit. I hope this wasn't the most fun live stream to watch, but I got a lot done in terms of setting up the dispo side of things and getting things squared away. Got a few replies, got connected with a few people through Facebook. Um, so I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling good about it. The fact that I already have people kind of asking for the address and asking when it's going to be available to walk leads me to believe that there's interest, right? I mean, the pictures are there. It's a order house. There's stuff stacked to the ceiling, and the fact that people are already, again, asking when they're able to walk the property, it's pretty reassuring. So that kind of is fueling me to just get it in front of even more people, as many people as possible, so that we can hopefully get this thing bid up a little bit. That'd be great. So I'll keep you guys updated on this one for sure as the conversations start unfolding. Um, and yeah, let you guys know how it's going in terms of getting this one to the closing table, getting them no out the way with my text blast. There you go. Me too. I just finished it off. Didn't get too many crazy solid no's. I got 4 good no's from people who I know were the property owners. I got a bunch of other no's beyond that and stop texting me, all that. But I don't really. I'm trying to be true about counting my no's through text. Um, just to hold myself accountable with making contact with property owners so many times per day. So but good to hear, Otis. Good to hear. Oh yeah. You just got set up with REI Reply 2, I believe. Let me know how that's going for you. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Appreciate the support always. About a 3.5, just hit 3.5 hours on the stream. I'm gonna try to make a habit of going live for like extended periods like this, at least once a day, aside from Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm gonna try to go at least live for 3 hours minimum. Like I said, I have a goal for myself to get 250 subscribers by the end of March, and I know the best way to do that is just to stay active, stay streaming, stay live. So I appreciate you guys, those who have already been in here, showing me the support thus far. And do me a favor, if you know anybody that you think may benefit from the content or may just enjoy hopping in here live with us and kind of shooting the shit, do me a favor and share it with them. I would appreciate that. And before you leave, as always, please do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Check out the links in the description. Best way to get in contact with me is Instagram or Discord. Discord being the #1 way to get in contact with me. And there are a few affiliate links down in the description as well that you guys can check out for the batch products, both batch leads and batch skip tracing. They are affiliate links. So if you are interested in looking for a list stacker, a tool to help you comp properties, or a platform to skip trace, you can go ahead and check those out. Do know that it is an affiliate link, so I will get some type of a commission. So, use it or don't. It won't matter to me one way or another. But if you do want to support me and support the channel, you can check out those links below. Appreciate you guys. See you in a few hours. And until then, peace.